Welcome to lesson 4 of Learn to Read Music Without Playing an Instrument. Today we are talking about the staff. What is a musical staff? This is a musical staff. It is drawn with lines arranged like you see in the image. At the start of a staff is a clef. Here I have put a bass clef. Now the clef is not part of the staff, but it is something that goes on the staff. I don't know of any music you'd ever read that wouldn't have a clef on the staff, so it's good to know how it all works together here. The vertical lines are called measure lines, bar lines, and also measure bars. Any of those terms is correct. I use them all interchangeably. A measure is created by measure lines. So the segment that is between two bar lines is called a measure. At the very end of a piece of written music is a special type of bar line called a final bar line or an ending bar line. Any variation on those terms, but it's the end bar line. It says there's no more music to be read here. You'll notice that it's a little bit different. It's actually two lines, a thicker one and a thinner one. The thinner one is on the left as you look at it. But even though it's technically two lines, we call it one line, the end bar line, the final bar line. The horizontal lines that we saw at the very beginning and we see here, these horizontal lines are called lines. That's why I saved it for here because it's pretty self-explanatory. A staff has 5 lines. This is true no matter which clef. This on the staff, a staff with an F clef has 5 lines, a staff with a G clef has 5 lines. You can also add shorter horizontal lines above or below the staff or a measure. I would say a measure because they're never long enough to go across the entire staff. These short lines are called ledger lines. The bonus video talks more about why you might need ledger lines. The space created by two horizontal lines, two lines, is called a space. A staff has 4 spaces. This is also true regardless of which clef is on the staff. This image shows everything all together. A printable version of this graphic is in the bonus material, but you can take a screenshot here if you like. So a staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces. A clef is almost always on the staff. We have measure lines or bar lines. We have a final bar line, and measures are the segments that make up written music on a staff. Let's practice. What is this segment called? A measure. And this vertical line? It's a measure line, a bar line, or a measure bar. Any term is correct, any of those 3. All of it? A staff. Last one. How many lines and spaces does a staff have? A staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces. A way to remember this is that you would not be able to see a designated space if there were no lines. So by default, there have to be more lines than spaces. So there are 5 lines and 4 spaces. Next time, we will talk about pitch placement or note placement on a staff. Again, I'm saying pitch here to indicate we are talking about the sound that would happen if you played that note, not the written notation. So that's for next time. Until then, you can use the bonus material. There is a worksheet to practice. The bonus video goes into a lot more detail and gives some other terminology you might want to use, but isn't absolutely necessary for learning to read music. And if you're skipping the bonus material, that's fine too. Whichever way it goes for you, I am so happy you are here learning to read music.